It is Friday night, Pint Live here, and we are back to discuss all things West Ham. We'd hope to speak about some more positive things, but West Ham have published their accounts, and it looks for grim reading. Record losses the club have been making, and what it could possibly mean if we get relegated, potential disaster. So we'll be talking about that. Obviously, the Liverpool game, huge game. Is it a must win? Is a point okay at Anfield, or do we need to look to start beating these teams? We're going to get into that. And obviously, Ryan and Scott, I'm joined with Nicky. Said he might show up. So I did stick him in the thumbnail on that fact, but we'll see. But yeah, nice to see you, lads. See you.
You, mate. Yeah. It's been a long week. Been a long week at work. Been busy, but yeah, glad to get the weekend. Looking forward to the game tomorrow. And looking forward to tonight's show to talk about how much shit we're actually in.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's all. It's always fun. Like, so yeah. I mean, when it comes to this stuff, I mean, I'm not a financial expert. You know, at the end of the day, you know, as you want to be football fans, not accountants, but the way that football is today, you kind of have to be, because it's such it has such an impact with like not just how much football's in the game, but all these rules, PSR, FFP, squad cost ratio that's coming in. You kind of have to be worried about how much money your club's making or losing, and that's the frustrating part. You just want to, you know, back in the day, you'd focus on the pitch. You'd maybe be interested in, oh, look, we've sold this player for a lot of money, but mainly it'd be all about the football on the pitch. Now it's like it's just as much about what happens off the pitch.
You know? Yeah, no, you are right, mate. This is I was just trying to look at what brief thing is. I didn't know it had been published though, so I was just trying to get my head around some of it. So it's a bit
it's a bit of a long read. It's very dense, like, and that's the thing. There's probably people that are more clever at that sort of thing than me or us. It's like, but we'll do our best to try and break it down. And just like I said, we're not going to get into the nitty gritty, but kind of, you know, summarize it to the point of, you know, what it could mean. So the accounts are published. This is for year ending May 2025 for that financial year. So apparently, like, we went from, I think we made a profit in the previous year of 57.2 million, and we have now swung down to a loss of 104 pounds. 104 million pounds. Sorry, 104 pounds.
They fucking wish it was 104 quid, Dan.
Yeah, listen, I fucking lost 104 quid there before on a fucking night out. But yeah, 104.2 million pound loss. So apparently, according to the club, much lower profit on player sales. Obviously, I think it was the previous season where the previous year end where the Declan Rice sale was included for 105 million pounds. So that was a massive factor. We also lost a lot of revenue by not being out of Europe. So we made a turnover of 227.6 million, which was down from 269 million. So a fall of 42 million pounds less when it comes to revenue. So it breaks down. So match day revenue 39.3 million, which was down from 44.6 million previous year. Broadcasting, obviously we finished lower in the league, and I think it was on telly a lot less as well, for 132 million, down from 167 million. Commercial revenue didn't really change. Retail 13.7 million, down from 16.1 million. So all your merch and stuff like that, football shirts and things like that. And then the wage bill rose. So staff costing, which I guess includes players and coaching, went up to 175.9 million, 176 million from 161 million. So that's 15 million. It went up. And then it includes 6 new signings, which cost 132 million pounds in that window. And then loans, creditors due within 1 year. So what we have to pay back, 204 million pounds. We owe creditors that have to be paid back within 1 year. Yeah, it's. I think
So-
that's.
So that creditors is the ownership. I'll take it. The loans.
Well, not just the ownership. Banks. I think I've got a breakdown here. We do owe the ownership money, but they did take out loans. I'm sure they did one from Barclays or something.
I remember the Barclays one. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not just so it's 200 million, so it's a multiple creditors. But because I think with the ownership, I don't think that's included because that's just a constant like debt. Where this is, I believe, the creditors that need to be paid back within a year.
Right. Okay.
So we have to pay them back within like 1 year to pay it back, basically. So that's like banks and stuff like that. Yeah, so it is. I mean, I'll stop there because it's like I said, there's still more to say. But yeah, I mean, massive drop. Like I said, it shows you like missing out in Europe, poor sales the following season. I'll go in and actually look and see what the players were. I think that would be the 24-25 season.
Yeah,
24. It's the worst. So Dad's Our Job says this is the worst financial loss we ever had. When GSB took over 16 years ago, we had less debt. I mean, look, I know, like I said, we're not financial experts, but what are your general thoughts? I'll start with you, Ryan. Like, what are your general feelings when you hear some of them numbers?
Yeah, it's worrying. Any businesses that report losses, I know football's a different world, because that 103 million compared to some other football clubs is probably nothing. But as you said, obviously a big effect on not being in Europe, finishing lower down in the table. Obviously wages gone up. I think Brady's wages went up by 1.4 million as well.
Yeah.
It is worrying. This is why we can't be relegated this season, because it could kill this football club. And it's worrying. Even if we stay up, it's worrying. But yeah, no, it's just and with the loss on the merch and all that, that's because we've been plugging OK jerseys for so long now. Everyone's buying the OK jerseys and not pumping into the club shop. But no, look, it is worrying, and everyone, you sort of thought it was going to come out and be like this, and it just puts more pressure on Sullivan to sell up, really.
Yeah.
So in a way, it could be a good thing for us, but as a football club, if we get relegated this season, it could kill this football club.
Well, look at yeah, you're right, and we'll definitely go into more of that. We've got some more info on that, but I've just gone to the transfers, right, because it said a big part of this was losses when it comes to sales, player sales being down and what we've signed. I'll start with what we sold. Right, so we sold Flynn Downs for 17.85 million. So this was summer 2024, right? Which I think will be within that financial year of May 2024 to May 2025. So Flynn Downs for 17.85 million euros. Saeed Benrahma 14.4 million euros sold. Kura 11 million euros, and then it's just like youngsters for like $1 million, right? So basically, we sold a sum of 46.15 million euros sold, right? And this is what we've spent. You got Max Kilman for 47.5 million euros, right? Right there. Somerville for 29.3 million euros. Nicholas Fulkrug, 27 million euros. Luis Guilherme for 23 million euros. That's Fulkrug and Guilherme for 50 million euros combined. Wan-Bissaka 17.6 million euros. So we spent 144.4 million euros and we sold 46 million euros. So it's basically you're 100 million euros in the red. And when you look at those players, you can only really look at those signings and say that Somerville and Wan-Bissaka were successful out of that. Guilherme, we sold. We've just had to ship off in January. Fulkrug's out on loan. Kilman's been a disaster. So, I mean, that's your first problem. What are your thoughts when you actually confront it? Because a lot of time it's a blur. But when you actually look back and you go, you know, that summer. I mean, that's the start of the downfall.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
as you said, mate, it's bad recruitment. You know, no signings guaranteed to come in and hit the ground running and work. But yeah, when, as someone just said there, yeah, when you're putting Kilman, who you've paid 40 odd million for, and you're putting them on a 7-year deal, 100 grand a week, you know, I'm not Carol Vorderman, so I can't work that out what that is. But fuck me, that's a lot of money. You know, that's millions. You know, and you look at some of the money we have been paying players over the last few years. You know, it is worrying. And look, I know football clubs, most of them run at a loss sometimes because it is football. But when you look at the ticket revenue, Phil, you know, but they say that we've got 60,000 there every week. So
that's more losing the European games, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's going out the cups early. It's no more Europe. Yeah. No, it's yeah, it is worrying times when you see them figures that you said, and I've got on there as well. But look, there are a lot of worse football clubs not in our position. You know, you look at someone like Sheffield Wednesday. You know what they're going through. You know, there are clubs out there at the moment that are struggling really bad. But if we, as I said earlier, mate, if we do get relegated this season, it's gonna finish us. Like, we're going to struggle. Even if we stay up, that's a massive loss. So basically, if we stay up, we're not really going to spend next summer because we can't. We haven't really got any assets to sell. There's only a few players that could generate some money. But if you're in the Premier League, why are you going to want to sell Somerville, Bowen? You know, Wan-Bissaka, I think we could get a bit of money for. Tadebo, maybe. Yeah. So, yeah, it is. It's shit, really.
Add to that, just to say, Scott, if you come in, like, we've just lost this appeal, which London Stadium appealed to say that we should pay them I think it's an embarrassment clause or something that we have to pay because the club sold shares to Kretinsky.
I thought you was going to say because we was that shit, they were embarrassed to have us there.
Yeah. We're embarrassed to have you in the stadium, so you got to pay us 3.6 million. No, we've got to pay 3.6 million. I don't know why it's called embarrassable, but 3.6 million because they sold shares to Kretinsky. Now, we won the original case, but then they appealed it and we lost. Now we're trying to take it to a Supreme Court. But if that goes ahead, then that's another extra bit of money that we have to pay out. You know, which I thought that clause was expired because I thought it was like within the first 5 years or so of us being in the stadium, or 6 years or whatever. If they sold the club, we'd have to pay him off. But yeah, Kretinsky came after that. But yeah, sorry, Scott, going that's an extra bit of money we've got to worry about.
Yeah, but just on that, surely then that is down to when they sold him the shares, they should have allocated a percentage of the money that they sold him to pay that off. You know, so they obviously knew about it. So it's one of those, whether they won the first court case or not, it'll probably go to another court case, and it's one of them, isn't it? If you get a judge that falls on one side, you find you get a judge that falls on the other, you're a bit stuffed. But that shouldn't come out of the club's pocket. That should come out of the pocket of the person that bought them shares. Because at the end of the day, they knew it. So either the person that's profited from the sale of the shares or the person that's buying the shares should pay the fine. The thing for me is, though, when you look at it, this is the accounts for last year. You know, last financial year, like you said, you're taking in last summer and when we had the players that we brought in. We've trimmed the wage bill massively since then. Massively compared to what we had on. You think?
I mean, I'd be interested to see how much it actually is. Like we same, I guess. But what we talk, what do you think? Tens of millions, or
yeah, you've got to look at it down with Kudus, big money, gone. That's a big sell.
Danny
Paquetá, gone, big money. You know, this is what I said. When you look at everyone who was offloaded, these are all the high earners. The only high earners that are still there are Bowen, Kilman, because they can't get rid of him. James,
well, we just brought Traore in, who's on over 100 grand a week,
which again is, as I said, look, you know my feelings on Traore. That signing, we want to look at the Kilman signing as money laundering. You want to be looking at the Traore signing as money laundering. You're paying that waste of space that much money.
I think as well, we're also paying 3 managers at once. You know, so You got Lopetegui that we're still paying off. You know, you think Areola's on over 100 grand a week. You know, there's a lot of players on a lot of money at that football club. And I know it is modern day football.
Well,
you know, so
even if you look at what get the West Ham United fan thingy up, that's what you're looking there. They're the players that we've got rid of.
Talking about
This one here, Regan. I'm going to try and get my mouse to work. There we go. Yeah, Antonio over 100k, Ings over 100k, Creswell, Fulkrug, JWP. Fulkrug and JWP are still there. And
and we're still paying a portion of their wages.
Kurt Zuma was on a lot of money as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, the next financial year will be a lot more interesting, but.
I don't think it's going to close the gap. I mean, it should be less. Like the outlay of wages should be less, but I think revenue will be down. I mean, we seem to have had more 3 o'clock kickoffs than we've had in a long time. So TV money will be down, match day tickets, all of that stuff. Maybe if we keep going further in the FA Cup, it'll help. But we went out straight away in the Carabao. But I'm just looking at it, right? When you look at what we spent, we talked about the summer before. So let's talk about last summer. 44 million on Mateus Fernandes, 40 million on Todibo, and January, I'll include January because within the same financial year. 29 million, this is all in euros, on Tati. 23 million euros on Pablo. 22 million on Diouf. 20 million on Hermansen. 17 million on Magassa, 2.3 million on Traore, right? So that is 200 million euros spent. And we've sold Kudus, 63 million euros, Paqueta, 42 million euros, Aguerd, 23 million euros, Guilherme, another loss, 40 million euros, right? So let's look. We sold 147 million, right? So that's a loss of 53 million in the red. So better, but it's still dicey. And
but you've got to look at the wages saved, Dan. That's the other thing to take into account. That is a big proportion of it. I know you're looking at the transfer fees, but the transfer fees have paid over the periods of contracts and ridiculous stuff like that. Now, you look at the money saved on wages.
When you look at it, staff costs was 175.9 million, which went up from 161 million the previous year. Now, I'd be interested to see what the staff costs are for this period, like including that, because it was 175 million. I don't know how much of a drop. Like, we're not going to talk about £100 million drop. We're not going to probably talking about. Maybe at max a £20 million drop. But then, like Scott said, we're still paying, not Scott, Ryan said, still paying off Lopetegui and Potter on their big wages. So I think
surely Potter's got another job, so we shouldn't be paying him.
Well, apparently we still are. I think we talked about it on a Friday night pints ago. We still have to pay him out, but I don't know. Like, that's either way. I don't think it's going to be the point where you look and say, well, we've saved this money, so we're healthy, because we've still brought on high earners. What we need to do at some point is start to look at everyone's wages and calculate it up.
I just see on West Ham Football on Twitter as well, he's put more of it, and he's put money owed to other clubs in the next year is 110.9 million, and then money owed to clubs in the future years is 84.9 million. So there's nearly like 200 million that we owe to football clubs for transfers. So
still paying off. Yeah, because we tried to get out. I can't remember who it was, but we tried, because there was a sale or something. We tried to get out of paying the rest of one of the players. I can't remember if it was Fulkrug or Guilherme, and we failed it. But what it means, so we'll go into relegation a bit. But what it's going to mean for the summer is for us to actually, if we stay up, for us to actually do anything in the transfer window. I don't know if Nicky's waiting for us to bring him in, or he's just going to come in his own time, but he's chilling. So I guess,
I didn't even see him down
there. I don't know, because he is capable of bringing himself in. So I'll wait till he's ready to come in. But what it means is in the summer, if we stay up, the ownership, the shareholders, are going to have to put their own money in if we want any kind of serious transfer window.
Is that what you're talking about, Dan?
Vlasic. Oh, yeah. They tried to get out of it because of Russia. Yes, Vlasic. That was it, because of the Russia thing. and I think they lost that. So it's just crazy. But yeah, they're going to have to put their own money in for us to actually do anything in the transfer window. You know, we may be able to buy some cheap players, but for us to try and strengthen the squad to a point where we can improve and grow and move on, like Sullivan, Kretinsky, forget about the golds, but they're going to have to stick their hand in their pocket, and which they had the chance to do last summer, and we wanted them to do it, and they didn't. So at this stage, can we expect him to do it? I'm very doubtful. Oh, hold up. He's bringing himself in, but the layout has changed. Nice. Yeah. So yeah, in terms, I don't know if you've been following along of what we're talking about.
No, I haven't. That's why I didn't come in. I thought I'd let you finish that first.
Oh yeah. We're still talking about.
I was sitting there fucking cooking my dinner and fucking playing FIFA and all that, and then I looked at the clock and it was 8:20.
Yeah, no, we're still talking about. It's just the finances have come out. The accounts, I don't know if you've seen it, record losses by the club. You know, turnover is down, match day revenue down, broadcasting down, massive drop in sales versus spend. This is for May 2025 accounts. And yeah, when it comes down to it, like I said, next season, we're going to talk about what relegation will mean in a bit. But if we stay up, it's going to be a case of the owners having to stick their hands in their pockets if we want to go in this transfer. And before that, we're probably going to be looking. They're probably going to be looking to sell some players. Talks about the assets. Obviously, you've got Jared Bowen, Somerville, Fernandez, Tadibos. Like, there's going to be those sort of players that they'll be looking to. Well, they might sell that are assets. You know.
So basically, Nick, do you remember when you used to do that thing when you used to do that stamp and you used to say skin? You need to do that on this thumbnail, because that's basically what we are, skint.
Yeah.
The thing is, I don't think if we stay up, I don't think it'll be that case. Look, at the end of the day, you're allowed to run at a loss for a certain amount. You know, as I said, we've sold and offloaded a large chunk of the wage bill in this year's squad, so they'll still have money to spend. It's just whether they want to keep trying to plead poverty.
Well, we got the squad cost ratio coming in that we've got to consider, and we have to obviously it's still new, but that's something we're going to have to look into and make sure we're in line with. By the way, thanks to Nick for joining. Nick Hall joining the memberships. Welcome, Nick. Thank you very much. So yeah, I don't know. Like, I think what you're saying, Scott, is sort of based on hope. You know, like I said, we still really have to run the numbers and find out how this squad cost ratio is going to affect us. Like, if anything, you know, I don't think that we can just go into next summer if we stay up and go, right, fucking, let's have another big summer. Let's spend, let's bolster the team. I think we're really going to be in a tight situation. And plus, Scott, don't forget, just before you come in, the creditors that we owe money to, which I said was up to 200 million, have got to be paid back within a year. 200 million. So we have to pay that back. So
this, as I said, mate, it's not so much we need to spend big. We need to be wiser in how we spend. This is the problem. We've spent big, yeah, but we've not spent wisely. And this is the big issue. With too many people, it's that old terminology, too many chiefs, not enough Indians. There's too many people with their hands in the pies of earning their little backhanders and squaring their mates off with backhanders and things like that. You know, you can't keep having this approach, and this is where we keep falling foul. That's what it boils down to. It's poor recruitment. You know, the money.
Yeah, but we ain't going to get away with spending 20 million in the summer, Scott, or trying to find a load of. We're going to, like, for us to spend like on average, when you look at the league now, to have an average season, I mean, you maybe 70 million or something like that, and just to try and compete, and that's still, I think, we're going to have to look to try and raise some revenue in sales. Well, we have to kind of balance the books.
Yeah, we probably will. We'll probably have to lose one of our better players, you know. But it's a case of, I just think that if we recruit much more wisely, we will be okay. It's just staying up and adhering to a plan. We can't keep having this scattergun approach. We can't, as I said, can't have too many fingers in the pies. We've got to be wise in how we recruit and take note of other teams that have a less of an income, a less of a fan base than what we do.
Who are run base of the team, though, Scott, right? There's still a load of players that are out on loan that we need to sell, like to get rid of. Yeah.
Ward-Prowse, Fulkrug.
Ward-Prowse, Alvarez, Fulkrug, Cornet, I think, still with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think, like, especially Alvarez, I think Alvarez is worth quite a bit of dough. You know what I mean? Like, he's not going to be a £5 million player. He's going to go for 25 million plus.
25 million plus. I think that's optimistic, Nick, considering we just loaned him out to bloody Turkey.
Yeah, but we only loaned him out to Turkey because Potter's ego was.
No, I know that. I'm not saying he's shit, but his value, his stocks haven't gone up.
But
and the fact that we're desperate, and from what I'm reading. Well, again, this all going to depend if we go out, but I think we're going to have to try and sell players early, and we've seen how they've sold players before. So I'm not hopeful of this club to negotiate a 25 million plus fee for Alvarez when you look at how they've been selling some players, and this is the thing. This is just the information that I'm reading here is that. They're going to have to try and keep the wage bill low, which makes it hard to compete. They're going to have to
be low. The wage bill has got to be.
I don't think it's low, but they're going to have to. If it's, I think it's maybe on. Do you know what? I wonder if I can find out what our wage bill is.
But if you look at this, right? They're paying Giora a ridiculous amount of money for what he is. He ain't going to be here at the end of the season. So you're.
Why do you say that? Why do you say that?
Because he's a pile of poop, Dan.
No, I mean, but the thing is, Scott, we can sit here and say Ward-Prowse is going to go and Cornet. Like, we've been trying to get rid of Cornet for years. He's still our player. We've been trying to get rid of Ward-Prowse. He's still our player. Like, just because you want to sell a player, there's no guarantee.
I do agree. I do agree. But you've in an ideal world, right, with all the big money wages that we've saved, we forgot about Rodriguez, 100k a week. He's gone. But you're looking at if you do it rightly and offload a James Ward-Prowse or Fulkrug, you get rid of that money. And Alvarez able to keep because he's a good player. He's a player that's going to add to the squad. Do
you want to know how much exactly this is called according to Capology? You want to know how much we've actually saved on the wage bill?
Go on.
So 24. So the season that they're accounting for, it's actually not bad, but it's not as much as you may think. So 103 million pounds was our payroll in the 2024-2025 or that from that accounting period. Now currently, according to this, is 74.2. So we've saved about 30 million on the wage bill, which is it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But when you compare it to the fact our overall losses, like we've made up 30 million pounds, yes. But when you go through all the figures that we broke down of where we've lost money in terms of in terms of match revenue, broadcast rights, all of that stuff, merchandise.
Then you say the broadcast rights. The broadcast rights are set fee across the year.
Well, because it's based on the where you finish, the prize money, right?
Yeah, that's the prize money. Not the TV money. The TV money is set at a set figure every year to every single club. It's the same. Yeah, but okay. So if you have a ballpark figure of what it used to be was 120 million a club. Yeah, you're saying our wage bill is 74 million.
Well, you say the broadcasting is fixed. Well, the broadcasting's down from because broadcasting isn't fixed because the less time you're broadcasted, the less money you make. You only make money. The more you broadcast, the more money you make. So that's down, Scott. The broadcast alone, we lost 35 million from being in Europe.
That's because So that's
but what I'm saying is, Scott, we've saved 30 million in wages, right?
Yeah.
But don't forget, we've lost over 30 million just on broadcast, right?
So it's all the other thing. So that 35 million is the European broadcast money. What we
Well,
got
no,
from
yeah,
Europe.
European, but well, also we was on telly more in the Premier League as well because we had to be.
But what I'm saying to you, the broadcast rights at the TV are set every year. It's a set figure.
But I'm talking about, Scott, in terms of overall. I've got it right here. I've got it in black and white, right? So it doesn't matter where it comes from. Okay, we can be pedantic, but that's over 30 million lost, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's still lost. We haven't got more of that. In fact, I feel like we're on telly less this year. So what I'm saying is that's okay. That's covered that, but we've still got all these other losses.
Yeah. No, but I'm with you that, mate. I get you with that. But that's what I'm saying. You've got to look at the broadcast revenue is a flat revenue at the start.
Yeah, but right, you're still on that. It doesn't matter, Scott. We're right. We're quibbling over things that whether it's fixed.
No, but what I'm saying is, if our wage bill's down to 74 million, at this precise moment in time, if you then lose people and lose high wages that we hope will happen, you're gonna have more money to use going forward.
Yeah.
That's what
I'm just saying we've got a lot. I'm just going over all the other things that are down. So, like I said, the figures that I read, merchandise, reads, match day. I'm just saying it's all down, Scott. So we have made up, of course, but I think that's a small drop. We've got a lot more money we've got to make. And if we go down, it's even worse. It's even worse if we go. This is what relegation is gonna. We'll have the parachute payments, but that's only 50% of broadcast. I think 55% in the first year, and then it's a case of what the ownership have to do is, do we bank? Because if you go up straight away, you're all right? So that it's a risk. They have to take a gamble. Is either we strengthen the squad and try and keep hold of some players, and try and go back up straight away. But if that don't work, you're fucked. Or do we start again, lower the wage bill, sell players, and hope we can get away on the cheaper thing? You're right, Nick. Do you want to? Are we keeping you, Nick?
But I'm bored. I'm bored shitless.
All right. See you later, mate.
What do you mean?
What's he here for then? What's the point? What's the point in being here? So we got to stay up is the long and short of it.
Yeah, we have to. That's the main thing. Relegation, as I said earlier, mate, would destroy this football club. You think as well, we rent our stadium, and we pay minimal rent for it as well. So the position we're in financially, but look, as I said, and we've all said, like, there's a lot of football clubs that run at a loss. It's football. You have to put money in, and you are going to lose money. It's only even the top teams lose money. So, but there's a lot to go over, and as we said, we're not financial experts. I'm sure there's people out there that have got a lot more know about this sort of thing. So, but all I know is that when things like that come out, it don't look good. But we was all expecting it. No one was expecting to see fucking like great figures coming out, you know what I mean? So
looking at it, it all starts. This is why this every game, and I hope like that comes out. And you don't expect the players to be fucking finance expert, but I hope they sort of get the vibe of like staying up is massive, and it all starts with Liverpool. Like it's just. Oh man, every game is cup final territory, isn't it? Every game you go in, and we drop points against Bournemouth, and now we go into Liverpool, and that's a tough game, but not an impossible game.
So it is. It's not an easy game. This is the thing, and this is the worry, mate. This is where we're a bit in bother, aren't we? We've got some big games coming up, and we've got to pick up points at Anfield, where we never really do well, and this is the big issue. It's crazy, it's absolutely crazy. I didn't see the Bournemouth game. I know, we had a majority and we're probably unlucky, but they're the games that you need to be winning and need to be sorting out, and this is the big issue.
Yeah, like and yeah, I was speaking to a Liverpool fan the other day, and they're worried about the game because they've not been in good form. But yeah, at the same time, I have no worries that we can score goals. It's just a case, can we hang on?
The problem is, like I said it the other day, like we have got a terrible record at Anfield. We've won there twice since 1914 when Anfield opened. You know, we've won. The last time we won there was obviously under Bilic in 2015, and before that was like 1963. So it's always been a ground that every West Ham team goes to seems to fear it. They fear going to Anfield before they've even stepped off the coach, and this is the problem. This is why we do go. So in the last few years, any time I've watched West Ham actually go there and give it a go, we either lose by the odd goal. Look at last season when Van Dijk scored in the last minute. You know, Bowen equalised. We lost 2-1. You know, it's we can't fear it. But like with tomorrow, like I've been sitting there thinking to myself, how is he going to set up? And like, I think the best way to set up, and hear me out on this, is that from the team last week, I would drop Magassa. I would bring Todibo back in to play in a back three alongside Diassi and Mavropanos, and have Wan-Bissaka and Diouf as wing backs that play further forward, and then just have Souček, Fernandes, Bowen and Tati. And then I think that because what I've know about Liverpool this season is that they seem to struggle against teams that go defensive. So if we can sit back and defend and just catch them on the attack, I think that there is a chance tomorrow that we could go there and get a result, because we need it. We need that result, and we can't go there fearing Liverpool. Anfield is a place that not a lot of teams get results, but Nottingham Forest went there early in the season and won 3-0, and Nuno's got quite a good record at Anfield as well. So that's how I'd put it. I'd just bring Todibo back in to play alongside Diassi and Mavropanos. I'd have Wan-Bissaka and Diouf playing higher up the pitch when they need to, and getting back to going to a back five. Like, frustrate Liverpool, and we can get a result.
I think to play. Yeah, go on, Scott.
No, go on, mate. Go on.
No, I'll just quickly say is I think to play like that, I don't think you're wrong. I think that Chris Somerville would be massively key to that for the counter attack, the pace, because and I have a little bit more, and I'll eat humble pie on it so far. Disastrous, right? Because I didn't expect him to be as sharp as he has been already, but I think I have a little bit more confidence in our ability to do that. To play more defensive and soak up pressure. And now we've got Disastrous in there over if you had a Kilman. And then you have Somerville on the counter, like with the pace, with Tati, of course.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to say Somerville in my team. I fucking started 10, I think. I don't want to do that at Anfield. But you can't fear going to Anfield, like especially with the way Liverpool are this season. I mean, they've not been great, but they always seem to grind out results. So I'm not sitting there thinking, we're going to go, but we need to win. A win tomorrow takes us out of the relegation zone. Mm-hmm. It might be for 24 hours, but it takes us out of that relegation zone. And then when you go into a game, Fulham away, which will be another difficult game, but the confidence going into Fulham, if you pick up a win at Anfield, is massive. So, yeah.
And don't forget the pressure it could put on Forest and Spurs, because they see West Ham beat Liverpool at Anfield, all of a sudden, oh shit, like we weren't expecting them to win that, and they won. The gap's closed. Like it's massive. It's massive, to be honest. We didn't even get to a chance to comments, but Pierre's saying the draw tomorrow is not good enough. Should go for the win and not care if we lose. A draw is only 1 point better. Yeah, I kind of agree to that. Like, I think because I said this to Liverpool fans, I said, look, if you go for a draw, you play for a draw, you probably end up with a loss. Yeah. If you go for a win, well, then you can end up with a draw, right? And then, but you've got more chance of ending up with a fucking win if you play for a win and not play for a draw.
But and that's it. That's the thing, mate. What really, really worries me is the approach we had going into the last Liverpool game. You know, when they were not. They were in the worst form that they've ever had in the Premier League, and we didn't even, lay a blow, did we? Do you know what I mean? Look at it in boxing terms. And now we're scrapping for our lives and trying to pick up wins where everybody You know, everybody's screaming for points down there at the moment, and we've got to go somewhere where we've won once in 60 odd years. You know, it's really, really crazy that we're relying on this, and then still relying on other teams to get results. You know, all stemming from poor managerial decisions. And
yeah, I mean, last week
you just can't escape that.
Yeah, last week was a kick in the nuts for us. You know, Bournemouth at home. Like, we knew Bournemouth was be difficult, but that game was there for the taking, and we had our chances and we didn't. You know, we don't. Every time we get the opportunity, other teams give us opportunities to get out of the relegation zone. We don't take it. And obviously, Nottingham Forest and Tottenham last week, new manager bounce, didn't work. But that ain't going to work this week. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I see a bit of the press conference, the Tottenham manager today. And I'll be honest with you, if I was a Tottenham fan, I'd be worried having that man in charge because he looked like he didn't want to be there. He's been there 2 weeks. I think he's gone there, looked around that team and seen what he's actually got and not realised what a big task he's got on his hand. I mean, last week against Arsenal, they were blown off the park by Arsenal. Yeah. Forest were unlucky, to be fair. I watched their game. They were unlucky. Last minute goal by Liverpool. But when you're in a relegation zone, or down the bottom, you know, that's the luck. You know, you don't get the luck when you're down there. So I'm just fed up with having to worry about what other teams are doing. Right? I just want to go to Anfield tomorrow. You know, I know people say a point ain't good enough, but a point at Anfield is a decent result. But it's only decent, once again, if Forest and Tottenham don't pick up wins. Yeah, if they lose or pick up a point, then it is a good point. You know? So, yeah, it's going to be a difficult game. We know that. Liverpool have got some top players, but they're missing. I think Wirtz is out tomorrow as well, which is a massive bonus for us. So, yeah, it's going to be difficult. But I think everyone wants Nicky back, but Nicky don't want to come back.
No, well, we asked him, but yeah, to me, I didn't want to have a row.
He'll do his own show tomorrow.
Yeah, do his own one. No, but the thing is, like, I was like, oh, he's bored. So I was like, all right, well, we'll let you go then. Sorry, we're keeping you. But yeah, it would have been my own show.
Can we concentrate? Can we concentrate less on the chat and more on what we're doing here? Because otherwise, I'm gonna log off. So yeah.
Oh, fuck you, Scott! Don't you log off as well?
But
Scott.
We need to.
See you later, Scott.
So yeah, you know, this is it, mate. This is do or die time now. We've got a lot of cup finals, and we need to pick up wins where we're not expecting to pick up wins. That's all it boils down to. Yeah.
Like, we obviously next weekend we've got the FA Cup. We don't play to the Monday, so these next 2 games. I mean, Fulham and Liverpool away. Minimum, you want 4 points, didn't you?
Yep.
You know,
minimum,
you want six, ideally, but 4 points. Yeah. But if you get 3 points out of the next 2, as long as the other teams don't pick up wins, then you know it's a good 3 points. But we need. Do you know what? I'm actually, and this might come back to bite me in the arse, but I'll probably say this every year we go to Anfield. But I'm actually quite confident tomorrow that we're going to nick something. I really am. It's going to be tight, scrappy, but I think we're going to be up for the fight more. I think we're going to want the 3 points more than them.
Yeah, this is the thing, mate. They're sort of they've got their eyes on other things as well. You know, they need to sort of cement themselves back into the top 4 and that type of thing. But they're still in the Champions League. They've got that to worry about. You know, there's, like you said, they're probably not eyeing it too much, if you know what I mean. You know, but it is for us. It's do or die. It really, really is do or die.
Yeah. Because I said it. I think they can, in the grand scheme of they want Champions League football. Of course they do, but it's not in the grand scheme. They can afford to drop points here and still be in contention for it, right? Whereas us, you know, we're really running out of games where we can afford to drop. We're fighting from behind in something. We've got really tough fixtures coming up. Like, of course, I'll be disappointed if we don't win or if we lose, but I just want to see the team be a bit brave tomorrow, you know, and have a go. Like, we can play defensive, of course we can. That's not the issue. Like, when I look at how we played against Arsenal last season, where we went defensive, but we fucking worked and we fought for everything and we got the win. Like, I want to see that. Like, if you're going to play defensive, play like that. Don't just go and say, have all the ball. Because you remember against Arsenal, we pressed, we tried to win the second balls. I want to see that. If you're going to go, right, we're going to, you know, play a bit deeper, still fight, press, tackle, and try to win that game. That's what I'd like to see.
I mean, look, Mo Salah hasn't been in the greatest of form this season, but he always plays well against us. So he's going to be, you know, whether he's in good form or not, he's someone you got to watch. You've got Ekatike up front. They've got Gakpo. You know, they've got so many talented players in that squad. But yeah, it's going to be difficult. But you know, we've got to fucking go there, as you say. No fear. We've got to be defensive because you know they're going to have a lot more the ball than us. So yeah, and then we have to take our chances, because you can go back to earlier in the season when we played them at home and we lost 2-0. That weren't a 2-0 game, you know what I mean? We didn't take our chances. We played well, you know. I say we was betting them on the day, but they took their chances. They had an £150 million striker up front, Isak, who was there. You know, that's the difference between us and them. You know, I know Isak's not been great this season. He's been out for a while, but they still paid a lot of money for him because he is a goal scorer, and he proved it on that day because he took his chance. So, yeah, the
thing is, right, I think we didn't go for it in that game.
No, exactly. We feared them. We seem to have this fear against the top 4, top 6 clubs where we see. But then look what we done against Chelsea when we went there. I know we lost 3-2, but we was 2-0 up and cruising, and we should have been 3-0 up, maybe 4-0 up. Second half, we come out and we conceded early, and the fear come into us. But that's because we was down the bottom of the league. If we were sitting 8th in the table in that game, we wouldn't have lost that game 3-2. We'd have gone on to win it because we wouldn't have had the fear there.
Yeah.
I want to see us more play like we played at Chelsea away, well, in that first half, than we played at Arsenal away this season. Because if we go like Arsenal away, we just said, have the ball. We'll just park on the edge of our box and we'll let you do what you want. Like, we won't try and get out of our own half. Like, if we play like that, we're definitely going to lose, and we're just going to play into our hands, because you're letting teams just constantly come at you and they'll eventually pick you off. You know, you're not giving them any threat to worry about going back on their end. They know they can just put numbers up and just come and after you. And it's exhausting to defend like that for the whole game. You've got to stay concentrated for the defense for so long. The moment you switch off, they score. So I really hope Nuno, you know, has a little bit of bravery. You can be smart, defensive, but give them something to worry about, you know.
Yeah, big game for Somerville tomorrow. Big game for Bowen. You know, we need our big players to step up in these sort of games, and Somerville's got the attributes to cause trouble to Liverpool. So has Bowen. Bowen's got quite a good record against Liverpool, you know. So it's just that midfield as well. You know, Souček and Fernandes. You know, are they going to be up for it? I think they will, especially Fernandes. He's been brilliant. Souček's just Mr. Reliable, isn't he? So, yeah, we've got, as much as they've got a talented team, we've got some good players as well, you know. And you said about Disastrous earlier. Since he's come in, we've only conceded 1 goal, and that was a 96-minute equaliser against United.
Yeah.
So we have shored up that defence, and it does look a lot more solid now. So, yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to the game tomorrow. You know, I'm looking forward to it.
It's like, do you know what? Like, it's the sort of side effect of being where we are. Is every game is a big game. So as much as I'm more nervous and anxiety, I look forward to every game because it don't feel like there's any dead rubbers. Like I said, every game is a cup final, so you look forward to it because it's the big game. And if you win, you know how amazing it's gonna feel. You know the euphoria like to win a game like that. So that is the one positive of being in this situation. Like sometimes by this season, you know, we could just be like 12th or something and we've got nothing to play for. That's
the thing though, Dan, isn't it? This is what you, from a neutral point of view, when you're looking at this and you've got teams chasing the title, teams like battling it out for relegation, it's entertaining. It's terrible when you're on like you're involved in it all, but like you said, you go into every game, you've got that optimism that we're going to get out of this, And like you said, every game you're going into it is a cup final. You've got that excitement about it, that buzz about it, because you know your team needs a result and we want to get out of it. It's bad because you sit there and think, oh, it's really depressing because we're down here. But then, like you said, you're looking forward to the game because you think, well, this is our chance. We can get out of it at this point. You know, it's exciting. More exciting if you, like I said, you're ain't involved, but it is exciting.
We can't keep giving away these opportunities to get out of the bottom three, because at some point, Forest and Spurs will pick up results. You know, so we need to start picking up the wins, getting the 3 points, and then I think once we get out of the relegation zone, I think it'll give us a lot more confidence, and we'll stay. And I'll still stick by it. I still think, looking at the 3 teams, I think Spurs are the worst out of the 3 of us. I think that I said it the other week. I can see them sliding into it near towards the end of the season, and I don't think they'll get out of it. And I think for football, everyone apart from Spurs fans, everyone's going to love that. But this is not just me being like West Ham banter, Tottenham banter. I actually watch them, and I don't see a decent team. And I think if you actually speak to Spurs fans, they'll tell you the exactly the same thing. I look at them. I look at our team. I look at Forest team. I see some good players in there, and I see some fighters. I don't see that in Tottenham's team.
No.
So,
and like when you see the video, I don't know whether you've seen the video of the manager trying to tell Van der Ven to get up, and he just looks at him, and then just goes like that and just carries on. And they're not in a good place. Not in a good place.
This is the thing with footballers these days, Scott. When they get relegated, they don't really care when they get relegated, because they know next season a Premier League team's going to sign after these players. You know, so they know it's the fans at the end of the day that suffer. Yeah.
Not all the players. Not all the players. You know, there are still players that give the fight.
I'm not saying that. But
yeah, you can see when, like you said, when you look at our squad, there's fight there now. Do you know what I mean? I think even if you go back to that defeat against Forest, you see how it affected some of the players on that pitch. You know, how much they knew losing that game really, really hurt us as fans, but hurt us as a club to try and get out of the situation we're in. And that tells a lot. You know, when you look, like you said, when you see Spurs, they lost 4-1 to Arsenal. There's players walking down the side, didn't give a shit. And that's the big difference. You want your players to care. Look, at the end of the day, they should care because they're paid a hell of a lot of money to care and to play for the club. But you know, we know that they don't. But you're seeing now fighters there. I don't know whether it's the fact that someone like Tatty's come into the dressing room, who is energy, who is work rate, who is, you know, doing the dirty work, that then lifts other players around him. Souček
or also
being
has gone.
Yeah,
the dark cloud.
Yeah, you know, like you said, the Sassy coming in, you know, as when a point to prove to Chelsea that he is good enough for this level of football. He stepped in. As I said, he reminds me a lot of a Zuma type who steps in. He's there to be counted. He's there to stand up. And these are the players we've been screaming out for. And now we're seeing it. And, you know, it's just, I think with Pablo, we're just really unlucky because I think he added energy. And it just seems them players just sort of lifted the other players around them.
That was a big loss. Matt, 199 Super Chat, never known a billionaire to be so bad at making money. Sorry, I forgot to read this out in the kerfuffle. 100%, mate. You know what I mean? If it's not adult entertainment, he hasn't got a clue. And well, West Ham in the Championship. Well, 199 Super Chat. Dan, you're a secret Leeds fan, bro. That's obviously a Leeds fan who's saying that. Listen, I don't know why. I think Nicky started this Leeds rivalry with us because we never had any problems before. Speak of the man himself. He's back. He's back. Let's get him in. Let's get him back.
Don't. I don't want to come in.
All right. Why is he coming then? Why is he? Yeah, so that's where that started. But thank you for the super chat. But yeah, Pablo, I think Nuno's sort of hopeful that he's not going to be out as long as it originally feared. So him coming back is going to be big. So yeah, hopefully, like, because that he is integral to the way we were playing. That 2 up top was massive. That 2 up top, I think, really helped. You know, we got a lot of joy with that, and him going, it really hurts us being able to play that.
Yeah. So what's your predictions for tomorrow? I'm gonna stick to what I predicted earlier. I'm gonna go for a very, very, very tight 2-1 West Ham win. Come on, you Irons, we're gonna do it.
I'm going to stick with the prediction I had next time. I feel like 1-1. I feel like it's going to be another game where we take the lead and then concede late in the game. I think they've scored quite a few late goals, Liverpool. And the thing is, they haven't conceded many lately as well. Their defense is much improved.
Yeah.
So that's the worry. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of goals.
They got one of the best defenders in the world, didn't they, in Van Dijk?
He's not been as good this season, but it seems he's started to come back into his own, you know?
Yeah. So, no, go on, Scott. What's your predictions, mate?
Oh, mate. I don't see us winning at all. I think we're going to lose 1-0. Really do. I'm sorry, I just can't see it.
That's funny. You got loss, draw, and win.
Well, so one of us is going to be right. One of us one of us unless it gets called off, and then we're all fucked. But no. Just before we move on, just want to quickly mention something. So Nick Tucker messaged me earlier. It's quite devastating news, really. So people who have been watching us for years would have seen the name Ken Irons in the chat. And Nick told me today that he's sadly passed away. He's been battling cancer for the last 2 years. It's a very sad loss. Me and Scott were talking on WhatsApp earlier with the voice notes, and we were both like saying that, it's sad because we've seen his name for years popping up in our chat, and we always said that he knew every stat. You know what I mean? He was just one of them, and he followed West Ham home and away. It's very sad. When Nick messaged me that earlier, I was gutted. Sad, very sad. So rest in peace to him. Condolences to him, his family, everyone that knew him. Very sad and just devastated.
It's honestly a really, we've been really blessed to have such a good community on the channel. All of you that are in it. And he was a great member of this chat, great member of the community, good as gold, just a real great person. And you just it makes you realize, like to us, we see all your names and profile pictures in the chat on a regular basis, and when you're here every time, you don't realize how much you guys add to what we do, and you make what we do really enjoyable. And Kent Hammers was one of the people that did that for sure. Definitely a regular. So really sad enough. My thoughts go out to his family. It's really gutting.
Every show I watched on, whether it was on here, Hammers Chat, Claret and Booze, he was always in the chat, and he was always putting his stats, and he just loved the football club. And as I said, Nick knew him more than what we did. We only knew him through here, but Scott,
we all knew if we got a stat wrong here or somewhere along the line, he'd pop up and tell us.
We'd be sitting there sometimes talking about something, wouldn't we? And we'd go like, "Ken, help us out." Up, mate.
And he'd bring it up. So look, like you said, I second everything you guys have said. He's he was a big guy on our chat, and it's just sad to see. It really is. And as you guys said, condolences to his family and everything. It's a sad day.
Yeah, obviously another mad West Ham mad fan gone, and hopefully, maybe it's up to the family, but maybe the club could do something, and like they do with some fans where they put it up on the screen and things like that. But it's up to the family. So definitely thoughts with that, and like I said, we appreciate all of you guys. So hopefully West Ham can go and bloody get a win for him tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice. And we'll just be following this roller coaster towards the end of the season. Like I said, hopefully we stay up for it. Hope we can survive and go from there. Really.
Yeah, definitely. So you're on the watch along tomorrow, and you Dan. You got Jace on there where you are.
No, Jace is working tomorrow, so he'll be coming or doing his chocolate.
What is it? One bite Jace now, in it? He just is taking one bite of it. I see a video earlier where he was in the Indian. He had his ice cream, one bite.
Yeah, but if you watch to the end, I exposed him because he said. No, Jace, I exposed him because he says he has one bite. As soon as the camera's rolling, he finishes it. Well, unless it's disgusting. Like
he's looking well, though. He's looking well.
Yeah. The weight loss is going. I think I got another weigh-in video to go. But yeah, he's lost a good few stone.
Yeah.
So yeah, the chocolate reviews, it just shows to show you can still have your treats and lose weight. You know. So but yeah, so you check out his channel, Jace Tries, it's called, where he's going to be trying all different things. And there's this one chocolate he tried, and I had a bit of it. It's some Italian one, right? I've never eaten something that tastes of nothing before. Like, he's got a video. It tastes like nothingness. Like, cardboard has more taste than that. Yeah, it's on his channel. It was the most bizarre thing ever. Just the absence of taste. Shout out to Matt 189. Scott, if we win, we demand the starting lineup.
Yeah, we need Scott's starting lineup back. And when you do it, I want Graham perched on the end of the table with a smile on his face, holding a beer.
Scott always pauses before he'd always pause and he go, yeah, a Manson in goal. The youth left
I used to like it when we first signed Czech Quixote and he couldn't say it. I couldn't say it either. And we used to have a little giggle to each other at the start of the video.
Yeah. Quixote, Scott was there, yeah.
Right, that pause at the beginning is my brain kicking in, so that I actually remember the 11.
But the thing is, Scott, that was your role every week, and you acted like you was on the spot, like, oh shit, I wasn't expecting this.
I've never done this before.
Yeah. You think you would have gone in beforehand and go, let me just go, what's the starting lineup? Right. You know,
and I want you to do it like how they do it at the London Stadium. In goal, number 1.
Yeah, do it like that. So yeah, hopefully that is a post-match pint where we're very happy. But we'll see. If we win tomorrow, I demand a Graham dancing video. Do you know what? I should have that video of Graham dancing in this StreamYard. And we can play it every time like this one.
I am the one and only.
Scott's just never gonna live that down.
Oh, don't.
But I mean, that is kind of why it's a forfeit.
Yeah, I know.
I am Ivan Toney.
That would have been if we'd have signed him, that would have been a great song for him.
Yeah, that's true.
That looks like pajamas, West Ham pajamas. Well, this is the centenary top from OK Jerseys. So yeah, OK pajamas. Someone's put. Yeah. So do go check out OK Jerseys.
I knew I had it.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, I filmed that at Ryan's wedding. Best thing I've ever filmed that. That's brilliant. What a legend.
Oh, you know he was serious. You know he was serious there. He had his tie off.
Yeah. It's one of them moments, like you're in the right place at the right time. You see that, you're like, fuck, I'm gonna get this.
It looks like Mr. Bean's just won the lottery.
Oh my god. So yeah, do go check out OK Jerseys. Use code Nicky10 for 10% off. Like I say, get all your West Ham shirts, all your England shirts, internationals or Ireland, whatever shirts you want. Go and get them. Iron Maiden shirts, as you may know, because Scott wears them every week. That's the only ones he's got.
Oh, Scott, you tried them last week, mate. I was in the Carlton Horses.
Nice in there.
Iron Maiden. Nice. I was in there before and after. Do you know what? It is really nice. And that's the first time I've been in there since they've done it up. Nick Tucker took me downstairs and showed me where they do the what are they called? Gigs. Is it a gig, Scott?
Yeah.
Or is it's a gig, isn't it?
Gigs, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was really nice in there. And do you know what I like about it as well? You can get a pint in a glass.
Yep.
Nice. Perfect. Yeah, none of this plastic cup nonsense.
Plastic shit.
Nope.
Oh, mate. They just don't taste the same. So, but yeah, like I said, I will be on the watch along tomorrow. Are you about for instant match tomorrow, Rye? Or are you out? And
Yeah,
about?
I'm out tomorrow night. But yeah, if we do it straight after, mate, I'm fine.
Nice. I don't know about you, Scott. Are you about or not about?
3 o'clock kickoff, won't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I might.
Unless we get battered, Dan, I'm going to go out early. No, I'm joking.
Yeah,
I'll be there.
Go out at half time.
Come on,
I'll keep you updated in the chat. If I can be there, I'll be there.
Yeah. So check that out. Obviously, fan cams after the game, where you can see some of the new faces that you may have seen on the show yesterday. Someone said that was the West Ham Fan TV under 23s we had on.
Some of them ain't passing for under 23s. I'm telling you.
Under 23 stone. Yeah. So we put out the extra time. So we had some of the fan cam regulars wanted to do a show, and they've done a show. So you get it early access if you're a member, get it a day early, and then that goes out to everyone. So you can go back and watch that. So anyway, thank you all for watching. One thing left to say. Come on, you irons.